Welcome to Living Your Greatness. Each episode, we bring on great people to inspire you to achieve your greatness. We discuss topics all related to health and wellness. Listen to world-class stories, learn valuable lessons, and turn knowledge into action. It is now time for you to unlock your inner greatness. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Living Your Greatness. This is your host, Ben Mumme. In each solo episode, you will receive valuable knowledge, wisdom, and life lessons. The goal is to equip you with mindset strategies, tactics, and tools to help you live a great life. If you are new to Living Your Greatness, the purpose of this podcast is to inspire millions of people across the world to achieve greatness and enhance their overall personal well-being. So thank you for being here. I desire to become one of your greatest mentors. The topic that we will discuss in today's solo episode is the art of becoming an expert. Robin Sharma once said, every single person in the world can be a genius at something if they practiced it daily for at least 10 years. Judith Polgar became the world's top female chess player. Michael Phelps became the world's fastest swimmer. Bernard Arnault became the world's richest person. It is not easy to become an expert or a master performer at something. It takes at least 10,000 hours of practice. This is a common rule of thumb popularized by best-selling author Malcolm Gladwell. To support this statement, Gladwell used the Beatles as an example. The Beatles put 10,000 hours of practice playing all night at concerts in Hamburg in the early 1960s before their music got so popular. Another example was Bill Gates, who put in 10,000 hours of programming work before founding Microsoft. This was why Gladwell strongly believed that 10,000 hours was a magic number of greatness. However, it is important to understand that the focus should not be on quantity training. It needs to also have quality training. You cannot become an expert without either of these ingredients. You need both of them. Benjamin Bloom, a professor of education at the University of Chicago, published a landmark book, Developing Talent in Young People, which examined the critical factors that contributed to talent. Bloom took a deep look at the childhoods of 120 elite performers who had won international competitions or awards in fields ranging from music and the arts to mathematics and neurology. And one thing was very clear from Bloom's work. All the superb performers he investigated had practiced intensively, studied with devoted teachers, and been supported enthusiastically by their families throughout their developing years. More research from Bloom's pioneering study revealed that the amount of quality of practice were key factors in the level of expertise people achieved. Expertise is not the result of natural talent, but hard work combined with deliberate practice. As Bloom put it, this is what distinguished the most exceptional performers, artists, and athletes from the very good and halfway decent. Consistently and overwhelmingly, Bloom's research supported the belief that experts are always made and not born. So what is deliberate practice? Expert performance is the result of individuals' consistent efforts to improve performance while negotiating motivational and external constraints. In most domains of expertise, individuals begin with activities designed to optimize improvement. Deliberate practice refers to a special type of practice that is purposeful and systematic. While regular practice might include mindless repetitions, deliberate practice requires focused attention and is conducted with the specific goal of improving performance. This means breaking down the skill you want to acquire into separate components and developing your skills so you master each part of the skill. Deliberate practice is not practicing something over and over and not pushing yourself to improve. It may be easier to just go through the motions of practice. But if your goal is to gain skills and become an elite athlete, engaging in deliberate practice should be the focus. How can someone use deliberate practice? There are specific steps that you can take to get good at deliberate practice and achieve a high level of performance for a specific goal. So number one, you need to break it down. Whatever skill you want to acquire, you need to break it down into different parts. Imagine you want to become better at writing. You could break down the writing process into creating eye-catching beginnings strong middles, and inspiring endings. If you were to work on the beginning of the writing process, you could practice different types of introductions. For example, you could try starting with a quote, a detailed description, or a personal story. Anything you want to practice can be broken down into smaller steps. Identify them and put them in a list to make sure you stick to the right ones for you. Number 2, create a schedule. Now that you know the steps and a practice goal, you should create a schedule to keep yourself motivated. Studies have shown that having a set deadline helps improve motivation by offering feedback on how close or how far you've come to goal. For example, if you want to learn to play the guitar, try scheduling an hour each day to start practicing the chords. You can get yourself a deadline to learn your first song within 3 months. Find what schedule feels doable with the lifestyle you have. This will help you experience continued improvements through purposeful practice. Number 3, practice with focus. Start practicing with that goal in mind and give the practice your complete focus. You can't be distracted or doing multiple things. You need to give it your undivided attention to get the full benefits. Number 4, get a coach. During your focus practice, you need a feedback mechanism for how you're doing relative to your goal. This will ideally be a skilled teacher or coach who knows what to look for, but you can also devise your own feedback methods based on criteria discussed above. Either way, a feedback system is necessary for knowing where you need to improve. In our writing example, you could ask a friend or a person you know who reads a lot and ask them what they think of your beginning. Ask them, how could you improve it? With the feedback in hand, you can go back and rewrite the introduction to make it even more eye-catching. If you were to develop your presentation skills, you could practice your opening with a colleague or a friend you trust and ask them for feedback. The key, though, is to listen carefully to the feedback and then go back and fine-tune your practice so you push your skills further. I strongly believe that we all have an incredible ability to improve our skills, and deliberate practice will allow you to maximize your potential as long as you put in the work. Whatever it is you want to master and improve your skills at, when you use the power of deliberate practice, you can quickly become better than the average and achieve high-level performance. I want to take this last moment to thank you for being here. I hope this episode has added some value or even perspective to your life. If you enjoy listening to my podcast, I encourage you to hit the subscribe button now. By doing so, it will give you unlimited access to all podcast episodes. So lastly, I want you to keep living your greatness and have a wonderful day. Much love, Ben. Thank you for listening to the Living Your Greatness podcast. If this show has added value, please subscribe, leave a rating, and make a review.